Hey guys, welcome to Welker Farms. My name's Nick Welker, and well, we farm on this channel, a lot of farming, but we're not farming, we're in here. And we're building stuff typically related to farming, like that grain cleaner that we haven't finished yet, that we're still working on. It's taking forever, but we're gonna get it done. We're working hard at it, and boy, it's coming along. I think you guys are gonna like what we're getting at. So anyways, with that said, this video is brought to you by SimpliSafe. So let's get to fabbing. Let's go. Another day. Flighty's in the augers, so I'm working on the bracket. The original one we built didn't intend to have this unit on here, so I'm adding another section of swivel on 30 inches out. That'll give you a lot more flexibility with your auger when you want to put in that hopper or the hopper on the scalper and be able to move around. Leg Arms is building the hood for this. We just ran it with some of Tony's oats that we got the other day, and it did a good job. Blew almost all the oats out. It was pretty nice. So he's gonna build a hood that's gonna go on the top here to direct the chaff and out somewhere on the ground. And Dad's wiring in the rest of these motors. So he went and got some more components. Got the motor on that auger, so he'll get that wired and that'll be ready to go. And then when I get the bracket built, we can mount this auger. This will be the main fill auger, and then he can wire that one in too. And we're getting pretty close to making this thing functional. Pretty sweet. All right, there we go. A little longer. Redid the bracket. This came with one of these Westfield augers, and so we went ahead and just decided, like I thought it'd be a good idea to just use that bracket on there. That way it's a lot better than that chain to hold the auger on. So length another 30 inches. So now it has the ability to turn and bend and swivel and everything. So we just basically got to now put the auger on it, and then Dad can start wiring that in. And it'll look a little bit more like a grain cleaner. Let's talk today's video sponsor, SimpliSafe. We've got a lot of stuff in the shop that we care about, and that's why we put a SimpliSafe system in here. Because when we're not here, it's nice to know that there's a system protecting our shop, deterring intruders, as well as notifying us if for some reason something's wrong. Their interactive monitoring service will then let you know by calling you and saying, hey, we got a problem. What do you want to do about it? Are you okay? And you say, yeah, or no, I'm not. And then they call the authorities and send them to your place, so that way the situation's taken care of. Let's jump in the office real quick and I'll show you guys some of the options that SimpliSafe has to offer. Now SimpliSafe has a whole range of options. They're really simple to install. They're just the sensors like these. All you gotta do is peel off the sticky adhesive on the back, stick it on your wall, boom, stuck, good to go. I actually just replaced my first battery in about 2 years of operation, so it's pretty impressive how long the batteries last. And what's great is the sensors cover a whole variety of options like a panic button, you got temperature sensor, door jamb sensors, water sensor for flooding, glass break sensor for someone smashes your window, motion detector, carbon monoxide detector, smoke detector. You've got deadbolts you can open remotely, so if someone wants to get in your place, you can just press the button on your phone and let them in or not. Or if you need to get into your home and you don't have your keys, press the button, deadbolt opens and closes. Really cool. And then you've got your cameras. We've got your doorbell camera, press the button, rings the doorbell, and takes a picture of who's in front or shows live video. We've got cameras for the inside. You can put it around your house, up on top of bookshelves, pianos, wherever you want to be. You just want to see a room, get a camera on it. You got that too. And then the new and latest outdoor camera, which is 1080p, 140 degree plus. It has night vision and motion detecting, can go to just about anywhere, and It's got this really cool magnetic base station, so you can just clip it on and put it where you need to be. That thing's awesome too. So the combination of all these cameras gives you a lot of options on where you want to do to keep video surveillance of your property. And then of course you got your base station right here, which talks to the cell tellers and your Wi-Fi, has an internal battery in case the power goes out. If you need to arm it, you can just press a button.
Please exit now.
Or if you want to disarm it,
Alarm off.
really simple. But honestly, one of the best features is the app on your phone, which is primarily what you'll be using to run the system. So in this app, you can select which camera you have available, open it up, see live feed and audio directly to the location where your camera is placed. Plus, some of these have two-way audio communication, so you can actually talk to the person through the camera if you need to. And if you need an alarm system from your phone, it's real easy. Just press the button.
SimpliSafe on. Home.
Now the system, depending on what you order online, will show up directly at your door. Within about 30 minutes, you can get it set up and installed and protected by a 24-hour interactive monitoring service. And you can run the system for less than $1 a day. Now my personal favorite would be the temperature sensor for the water systems in our shop, because if the furnace goes out, we don't want that to freeze. It's nice to know since we don't live in the shop, we're gone a lot of times and come back. Two would be all the video systems, being able to keep a visual on what's going on, being alerted on motion detecting. That's nice. And then as well as the safety things like carbon monoxide and smoke detectors. That's great to know to have in the shop too, because there's a lot of smoke and carbon monoxide produced in these shops. It's unavoidable. It's gotta happen. Now, save 20% on your SimpliSafe security system by signing up for an interactive monitoring plan and get your first month free. Just go to simplisafe.com/WelkerFarms to learn more. Good deal?
It's probably a bit overkill. That whole pivot point down there is solid. It's not going anywhere. In fact, the auger will probably bend before that bends. Anyways, that's secure. That's not. We got to build the support bracket and everything with a winch or cable system, whatever we decide to do, to attach the auger so you can raise and lower it. But this way, this auger can pivot up and down, and it can swing all the way around over to this side. So wherever you want to park the truck, you can park the truck. Sweet. Spins really well. You can pin it. Yeah. So then I think what I'll end up doing is putting a bar from up there over, and then a triangle, and then this will be your winch point. So then that way it's always going to want to follow the auger. But at least now you can pin it. And the idea with that is that way the auger will basically stay in one spot and it won't want to just keep turning itself around. And so it'll probably sway a little bit, but nothing to worry about. But we had to have a stopping mechanism, otherwise you can't get this auger to stay in one spot. Maybe it would have, but kind of doubtful. Okay, now that that's done, I need to build this thing. You're probably wondering, why did I put electric winch on there? Well, we had this winch sitting on our shelf for many years. It actually was the winch to the door over there, and the push button remote for it broke at some point, and we couldn't get another one, couldn't really figure out the wiring. It was kind of weird what they did there. And so it sat there. So I decided to look at it, figured out the wiring, and I got a little switch to manage to replace it. It's kind of scary, you could get shocked. We'll fix that. Anyways, it raises and lowers quite well. And then unpin that and swing this bad boy to your truck. Isn't that cool? Now I'm not done with this yet. I still have a lot of little details to do. But it's getting there. So I build a cradle here, so it's in transport mode. You can put it down, lock it. I still have to build a support beam for that part to make sure it doesn't, you know, all that good stuff. But it is getting there. Awesome. Good deal. I'm happy. I hope you guys are happy too.
$380 later, we've got the right 50mm pin that is gonna go in that Magnum front axle. We gotta do some work to it. So leg arm's just gonna help me occasionally, but I'm gonna machine this thing down. Cut the grease grooves, gotta drill the ends out. So the grease works can go in the ends, to push grease through the center. Then you gotta drill a horizontal hole, or I guess perpendicular hole, into the original hole you drilled. And then the grease go through the whole thing. And I gotta take this bracket off the end here, hold it on the end, and make sure the length is correct. So let's get to it. Right, so grooves are cut in. Sorry, I promise I did most of it. So he did a chunk of it. We got the hole drilled all the way in to the center grease groove, and then we just did a perpendicular drill down, tapped it, air flows freely through, so we're good there. Got the collar shaved off for this bracket that bolts it so that way it doesn't twist while it's inside the tractor frame, it stays stationary. So now we're just gonna punch a little bigger hole to put the tap in for the grease zerks on each side. And then when that's done, just gotta weld this on right here, and we're ready to put that back in the tractor. Oh, I'm not a fan of the wind, but man, sure does blow in some pretty sunsets. Wow, look at that sky. Look at the color of that. Isn't that wild? Dark blue over here, bright up there. It's a good way to end the day at work. All right. Oh. Anybody want a dryer? Okay, got the shaft. Look at this shack back together again. It's only been a couple weeks. No joke. It's been that long. Crazy, but we got it. It's tight, but we want tight. We don't want slop. That's what we got rid of. Okay, she went through. So now, let's start bolting everything back up again. Got a washer and a bolt I'm gonna put there to lock that pin in. And then we'll lower this bracket down. It's been hanging up here, bolt it in place, and then start the process of putting the loader back on. And then we get this tractor out of here. But I don't need this anymore. So we'll take this off. There we go, done and done. No, we're not done with this tractor yet. There's more we're gonna do, quite a bit more actually, some pretty cool things. But at least all the front axle part, that's good to go. I just looked down and saw with the bucket off, there's some nasty cracks in this. I'll try to remember that when we go to put the bucket back on it. But with that said, more upgrades are coming for that thing, don't worry. That 7140 is gonna slowly get a little bit of love, piece by piece, eventually get it back on the map again. And then we'll probably sell it just like we did the 8940 and then regret that decision down the road like I am right now. It's good. All right, back to the grain cleaner. Here we go. Check it out. So Dad's been grabbing the super clean and he's been scrubbing the walls down slowly. Well, that is what it looked like when we built this place like 11 years ago. That's how much soot's collected on these walls since then. The whole thing eventually will all wiped down. Be nice. Doing some upgrades to my my little auger arm that's on there. It's getting beefed up a little more. It turned out a little heavier than expected, and it sagged a little more than we wanted. We don't want it to bend, so that's what he's doing.